men's team goes to the Sweet 16 as well. They beat Tennessee 70-55. John, did you watch any of that game?
I did. I watched most of it actually, and it was. Would
you have watched as Michigan State was?
Probably not. No, because I've had a chance to meet some of the girls on the team, and obviously Kim Barnes-Arico.
Yes.
And so I've got a best interest. Plus, my daughter Ruby, who's they started basketball this week. She has been following Michigan basketball, Michigan women's basketball all season long. So. Plus, they've got one of the better players in the country, and Naz Hillman.
That's okay. Just check.
Just a few reasons.
Yeah.
Number 0.
Double zero.
Double zero, right? She got shafted in our poll.
Yeah.
Exactly. I turned it on. I didn't realize it was on. I saw that they were winning like in the third, late in the third quarter. So I turned it on for a little bit. It was fun. Man, Tennessee, they just kept fouling. It's like, let's get this game over with. Crazy. They did the opposite of real wave.
Right.
Basically, wave the white flag a little too early.
Well, and every once in a while they'd get it back into single digits.
Yeah.
And then Michigan just kept hitting their free throws.
Yes, indeed. So good for them. They take on Baylor next. Of course, Michigan will take on the very tough Florida State Seminole team in the men's Sweet 16. That's coming up Sunday at 5 o'clock. Hey, Heather, I wanted to ask you this question before we get into what I did mention there was National Puppy Day yesterday because you pointed that out. So I posted 2 pictures of my dogs. So somebody on Facebook, on social media, wrote, it's not National Dog Day, it's Puppy Day. Is that a fair criticism? So I wrote back, they were puppies once. The critics you get on social media these days, and of course the person who did that was my sister.
Well, technically she is right. It was National Puppy Day.
I know.
But I think it's fine to post a photo of your dog because yes, they were. I mean, any photo of a dog makes me happy, so I don't really care.
Okay.
It is silly, but she technically is right.
What is the official not puppy anymore?
Yes, that's a good question.
Anything under 1 is still a puppy.
Okay. So mine is like 1 year and a month, so she's no longer a puppy, even though she acts like a puppy.
That's to me. That is to me. I don't know the actual what a vet would say. Yeah, I'd say it under 1.
So
she's no longer a puppy.
technically, I did go against the rules of the land. So my criticism of my sister was valid. It's amazing how things get passed on from generation to generation. Just look at that.
Yeah.
All right. As somebody who grew up in an NFC East city like Philadelphia and had to work in Washington, I went to school there by choice. As everybody knows, I can't stand the Dallas Cowboys. I always had disdain for the New York Giants, and especially when you live in Washington. Sorry, John, you weren't there for me to like you and cover you when you were there. I couldn't stand the Redskins because the Redskins
We're good.
No, it's not that they were good. They were good when I was there. I mean, I got there at 7. I just thought it was crazy that I'd never been in a one-sport town. And when I mean a one-sport town, they had the Bullets who actually won a championship in 78. The Capitals were very new. The baseball team left, and, they covered the Orioles like it was a home team before the Nationals came. But it was like, I'll never forget. They beat Dallas one year. I think it was my freshman year, so it would be 76 or 77 to go like 4-0 or 5-0. They did a special half-hour show in prime time. Then came Dallas. I said, really? It's regular. Even back then, I was like skeptical, and just the fact that people they dressed up and all that. I just couldn't stand the Redskins. Anyway, that said, you know what happened with the name the Redskins last year. They changed it temporarily, they said, the Washington Football Team. And they were going to say they were going to come up with a nickname later. Well, the president of the team said, the response we've gotten from this, it's nothing official, but we might just keep it and not come up with a different nickname. John, as a proud alum of the Redskins /WFT, Washington Football Team, are you good with this, or would you rather them change it to something else?
No, I'm good with it. I was good with it at the time when they made the change and it said, Washington Football Team. I actually kind of like the logo that they have with the W and they showed it a lot when Alex Smith was here in the quarterback when they played in Detroit. We got a chance to take a look at it up close and personal. But I have no problem with it, and quite honestly, they could change it to about anything. But the problem is, Washington football team, like, there's no mascot, right? You don't, but it doesn't infringe on any of the mascots that they have that are like offshoots, like the Hogs.
Right.
You could still have the Hogs because that's in reference to the offensive line there, specifically your time there when it was Grimm and Jacoby and those guys.
Yep.
So I don't know that people really have a feeling one way or the other. The Washington football team is just fine. It's a very transient fan base.
Oh, yeah.
And because everybody is a transplant there, and that's kind of been one of the things, to your point, that united that little region there of Washington, D.C., Northern Virginia, Maryland, and you could even go down the coast until the Carolina Panthers came there. You'd find a lot of Washington Redskin fans all the way down into the Carolinas.
Oh, no doubt. And you even talk to people who are really old before the Falcons came in.
Oh, yeah.
The Redskins
They
were
went all
the
the way
team.
down there.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think it's fine. You know, I don't think you can sing hail to the Washington football team.
Oh, no,
but
that's gone.
yes, and some, you know, obviously that tradition is gone, as a lot of it, some people think it should be. But I was curious, in pro sports, not college, in pro, what are the best and worst nicknames?
Oh, I've got some bad ones. Some ones that just annoy me.
Go.
The New Orleans Pelicans, I think, is at the top of my list.
Really? Why? Pelican is, it's you know,
It's
there are tons of pelicans down there.
Right. This is just a dumb bird. Like there's nothing of a pelican that strikes fear into you. Like, it's not a vulture, it's not a hawk, it's not anything that's going to swoop down. It's a pelican, right?
What should they be instead?
Oh, they could be any. I mean, New Orleans has so many great things about the city.
They should be the Jazz in Utah when they moved from New Orleans. Should have changed to something else.
And I know a lot of people say the Utah Jazz because it has nothing to do with
Right.
Utah. The Green Wave down in Tulane.
Yeah.
Like, who's scared of a green wave? Like, the mascot is supposed to be
That's
something.
a college. We're talking about pros. Get with the program.
Mascots. You just said mascots.
No, I said pro. I said it was the best pro nicknames. The
Okay.
best pro and
The worst.
And worst. Yes, both. Yes.
Okay, so the Pelicans are the worst. I'll stop there.
Now, you don't have to stop. Well, what else don't you like? What other nicknames in pro sports don't you like?
No, I'm just give me your example. Is there one that you don't like?
Well, yeah, the obvious is the Jazz because it doesn't fit. The one I really like the most is a nickname of a team that a lot of people around here can't stand. And I'll tell you what that is coming up next. Hey, if you want to get away, relax, and have a great time, go to the D in Las Vegas. And no, it's not the Golden Knights. The D is taking all the necessary precautions to make sure your stay is safe and can enjoy all the comforts of a great Las Vegas hotel without missing out on all the high gaming energy and the nightlife. Now, they have great food there. Enjoy Vicari's Andiamo Italian Steakhouse right there at the D. Or, if you want something more casual, American Coney Island is right there. You want to play golf in Vegas, great golf courses out there? Well, here's what you do. You tell them where you want to play, and they will hook you up with some good times. That's what they do there for you at the D. And the Long Bar, always a great time watching all the games, having some great drinks. The bartenders put on a great show. And, of course, the card games, the table games, all that stuff is great. They got a new sports book, too, that's awesome. So book a room, go to thed.com. Book your stay today. The D Las Vegas, your home for Detroit sports in Vegas. 97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, this report brought to you by Klipsch Premium Audio. Most of the freeway still pretty quiet this morning. Where there is an incident is along I-96 Jeffries westbound at the Davison, where there's already a slowdown because of an accident, which leaves only the left lane open. Klipsch Premium Audio, the combination of thoughtful design, constant innovation, and premium materials creates the ultimate listening experience. Your music has never sounded so good. Klipsch, keepers of the sound. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
97.1 The Ticket would like to remind you that when you text the ticket, standard text messaging rates apply.
This Radio.com Sports Minute is brought to you by Paulson's Audio and Video. If Mark Emmert feels like the walls are closing in on him, folks, well, that's because they are. Still reeling from a federal antitrust case defeat and last year's cancellation of his Golden Goose, the NCAA men's basketball tournament, he doesn't care about the women. The embattled NCAA president was greeted in Indianapolis by a coalition of empowered student athletes whose banner, not NCAA property, continues gaining traction. Now the movement leaders have requested a meeting with Emmert. Normally, he'd issue a statement about going through the labyrinth of proper channels. Instead, he did agree to meet, but only after the tournament. Rather than demonstrating leadership by tackling this challenge head on, Emmert sent the message that the athletes don't seem to matter to him. Boomer Esiason.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. When the prospect of divorce becomes a reality, you need a partner that you can count on. If you're a man in this situation, consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men navigate complex legal matters for 30 years.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facility safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, this is Bill and Tim from Southfield Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram to tell you about the John Jansen deal during Ram Truck Month.
You can get into a 2021 Ram 1500 4x4 9 edition starting at only $299 a month. Features like a Hemi V8, heated seats and steering wheel, backup camera, and remote start.
So wherever you live, Waterford, Dearborn, South Lyon, or Warren, you are just a short drive away from the best car buying experience you will ever have.
Ask for the John Jansen deal today.
And remember, all roads and all towns lead to Southfield Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram at 11.5 and Telegraph.
Hey, there's always one team that ruins your bracket. That's why this year, you gotta love the FanDuel Sportsbook app, America's #1 sportsbook, because on FanDuel, your first bet is risk-free. Doesn't matter if you're betting on Michigan or Michigan State. New users get up to $1,000 in site credit back if your first bet doesn't go the way you planned. FanDuel has odds on all the action of games day and night. An easy-to-use app, multiple deposits, and fast withdrawals, always on promotions. And your next chance to win is minutes away. And if that's not enough, FanDuel wants to make you a millionaire. They're giving away $1 million to one lucky bettor. New and existing users get an additional shot at that payout every day you bet the tourney. So, if you want your shot at becoming a millionaire, download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and use the promo code Doug so they know I sent you. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code Doug. Must be 21 or older and present in Michigan. No purchase necessary. Restrictions apply for $1 million drawing. Risk-free offer for first online real money wager only. Site credit is not withdrawable and expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help.
Help Mother Waddles to help those in need by donating your car. Your car donation to Mother Waddles will provide food and shelter to the poorest of the poor. Call Mother Waddles today and change a life. Call 313-WADDLES.
What are you waiting for? It only takes an hour for you to have your child's heart screened. Get your kid's heart checked at the Ernst Cardiovascular Center at Beaumont Hospital in Royal Oak. Details at 971theticket.com. You could win a ticket signing bonus. $1,000 in 11 times each weekday. Powered by BetQL. Let BetQL's proven data and analytics help you become a better. Download the BetQL app today. Listen for the keyword at 1/2 each hour between 7 a.m. and 6 p.m. Text that keyword to 72881 before the end of that hour. Message and data rates apply, and you could win a $1,000 signing bonus on 97.1 The Ticket. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, here's Stoney and Jansen.
97.1 The Ticket, the president of the Washington football team, says they may keep the Washington football team as its permanent name, no longer being temporary, because the reaction from the fan base has been pretty positive. I mean, they talked about, what was it, Red Tails they were thinking about, and maybe something else, but
The Hogs.
the Hogs, yes.
That was one that they talked about.
You would love that one.
I would. It'd be fun, but I'm good with Washington.
I think it's cool. Not that I'm a huge soccer fan. It's kind of got like a soccer feel to it.
Why would you say something?
Well, it does. It's like, they have DC United. If we ever got a team here, we wanted to call it that's the Colorado Avalanche. I just think that's cool.
The Avalanche?
Yeah. Because the Avalanche, a lot of people don't like the weather, nicknames like lightning,
The storm.
yes, things like that. But the Avalanche, it's, you get hit by an avalanche, you're in trouble. That's the damn truth.
The Seattle cloudy day.
The Seattle Rain. Isn't that their WNBA team? Seattle Rain? Yeah.
I think the Avalanche and the Ravens were two of the greatest rebrands of all time.
Pretty much.
And they changed kind of almost their identity as a franchise with it.
Well, they had to, too, because they went from, you go from Cleveland, where you're the Browns, named after, the owner of the team, who at the time founded the team, and they're not there anymore, obviously, and going from a different country with a different language to a certain extent, to more Beaks, to Denver, and the Colorado Avalanche, they couldn't keep themselves. They couldn't keep the name, even if they wanted to, as opposed to like when the Lakers moved from Minneapolis to Los Angeles and the Jazz, which still makes no sense. The Wizards, well, I'll get to that one in a second, because that's on a ticket text. But the one that I think, racking my brain for one that I really don't like, I knew you mentioned the word, Pelican doesn't strike fear. The Nets. Really? I mean, what was next? They didn't like the Nets with the rims? And I'm not even going to say the second word that comes after rim if you want to be dirty about it, but, but seriously. I didn't say it.
Why did you bring it up there?
I don't know, because I felt like it.
It's on Stoney's mind this morning. That needs to be a segment. What's on Stoney's mind?
All right, let's go to ticket text.
The ticket text would be amazing on that segment.
Yeah. Should be the New Orleans Voodoo. Have a mean voodoo doll for the mascot. That's right. That would be good.
That would be cool.
Yes. Hey, John, watch videos of pelicans eating birds and squirrels. Scary as F to be eaten alive and not even chewed.
Yeah, but eating birds and squirrels, again, it doesn't strike fear into a human.
Well, you shoot birds and squirrels.
I do.
I think it's probably a lot harder to eat one. Right?
Yeah, eat one whole. Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
So give the pelican some credit.
Yes,
all you do is buy a gun and shoot it. The pelican actually has to, get up to it. And how does a pelican even catch a squirrel?
It just flies down and scoops it up.
Yes.
It's got that big old beak.
Yeah, I know.
I guess, is it better to be swallowed whole or to be blown away?
No comment. Some more on the ticket text. Good morning.